everybody, and welcome back to the Zodcast. This is going to be episode number 17. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021, and this is going to be a copyright edition of the Zodcast, as I will be presenting some brand new research that I have found, and of course that's going to pertain to Donald Lee Cheney and my belief that he is the Zodiac killer. Now, if you know a little bit about my background, it's mainly genealogy. I love genealogy, tracing my own family history and family history of others. So why would Don Cheney be any different? So I was on a quest to get into his genealogy a little bit more. So I knew that Don's mother's maiden name was Fryer, and that name's spelled a little differently. There's a more common way to spell the name Fryer, but Don's mother's maiden name was spelled F-R-Y-R-E-A-R, like Fry Rear, but it's definitely pronounced Fryer. So her name was Dortha, which is kind of unusual. It's similar to Dorothy, but it was D-O-R-O-T-H-A. Her middle name was May, M-A-E, kind of a different spelling for May. But you can see here, this is her obituary, and it talks about marrying Don's father, and it talks about she's got 6 grandchildren. Of course, 2 of those are Don's children. The other 4 are from Don's sister, Patricia Jane Smith. And then it mentions Don's aunt, which is Bernice Hamilton of Delano, and then Don had an uncle named Miles Burr Fryer. I've still spelled obviously F-R-Y-R-E-A-R. You can see that at the bottom here. So I was just digging around on this genealogy on Don's mother's side and found some pretty interesting stuff. So moving on, here is a screenshot of the census of Don's mother's family. You can see here David H. It's for David Henry Fryer and his wife Clara J. And then you see Don's mother, who the census people screwed up, but Dorothy and not Dorotha, which is his mom's name. But you see the Dorothy M. That's for May. Then you see Violet B. And that's Don's aunt. Her middle name was Beatrice, so later in life she went by Beatrice, but her real first name was Violet. And then you see Miles B. That's for Don's uncle, Miles Burr Fryer. So that is definitely Don Cheney's mother's family right there from the census record. So now moving on, this is just another family history record. You can see this one's a snapshot of Don's grandmother, Clara Fryer, and it shows her parents and her father's name, which was Miles Lawrence. That's where the Miles comes from for Don's uncle. And then it says husband, David Henry Fryer. That's Don Cheney's maternal grandfather. And then it shows his children. It says Dorothy May Cheney, born Fryer, Violet Bernice Hamilton, born Fryer, and then Miles Burr Fryer. And then some of the siblings it lists for Clara. Okay, now I'm showing the record on Find a Grave, which is a great website, and it's easy to access. And I'm showing the record for David Henry Fryer, which is Don Cheney's grandfather on his mother's side. And then I'm going to zoom in on the parents of Don Cheney's grandfather, which is going to be John Burr Fryer and Elizabeth Frances Berry Fryer. So those are Don Cheney's great-grandparents. And here is a picture of them. This is John and Elizabeth Fryer. It's always great when you can find photos like that of your ancestors. And then moving on, a little more detail here about John Fryer, Don's great-grandfather, and was looking at his siblings. And it lists James Fryer, Sarah Fryer, Abdil. Of course, she got married to Mary Ellen Fryer, Shawley. And then I noticed this name, Susanna A.E. Fryer Ingersoll. Now, of course, that is a sister of Don's great-grandfather. So I went into more detail looking into Susanna. Here she is again. It's a picture of her headstone, Susanna A.E. Fryer Ingersoll. And birth 1852, death 1936, age 53. And then I looked at her children. She has a Jessie May Ingersoll Simpson, Andrew Jackson Ingersoll. And look at that bottom name, Mary Martha Ingersoll Paradice. P-A-R-A-D-I-C-E. That is the rarest spelling of the name Paradice. Remember the episode we did a while ago? We talked a little bit about the Paradise Painter and everything in Bakersfield, but that was the common spelling. This is the rare one, Paradice. Mary Martha Ingersoll Paradice. There is a odd name. Where does that name get mentioned before? Maybe in the Zodiac correspondence? And as a surname, I can't tell you how rare the name Paradice is. The name Paradice, spelled Paradise, the correct way, is extremely rare. But that spelling Paradice is probably 10 times more rare than the other spelling. It is so uncommon, I can't even explain it. So, yes, Don Cheney's great grandfather's sister's daughter married a man named Paradice, Frank Paradice. And that's spelled, of course, Paradice. And then I'm showing some pictures on the screen from the marriage certificate between Don's first cousin, twice removed, and Frank Paradice. Think he might have heard of this person, and that's where he got the inspiration for that crazy spelling for Paradise that shows up in the Zodiac correspondence? What are the odds? Just like Paul Avery, the Mikado, and Bakersfield Junior College in 1953, what are the odds? So just to explain the relationship again, Mary Martha Paradise was Don Cheney's grandfather's first cousin. So going down 2 generations, that's how you get the first cousin twice removed for Don. Now there's a picture of the man she married, Frank Henry Paradice. You can see the spelling is correct, Paradice Jr. This guy was an architect, a well-known architect in Idaho. He did a lot of buildings in Boise, Idaho, and then he later relocated to Pocatello, Idaho, where he did a lot of the historic buildings there. The guy was a very prominent guy. That's might have been how he got on Don Cheney's radar. Can I prove he ever met this guy or even his first cousin twice removed? No, I can't. But what are the statistical odds that Don Cheney's has a relative by a marriage with that last name is unheard of. It's unheard of. I mean, statistically, this is insane. And I can tell you all this work here you're seeing is 100% correct. And you can go to Find a Grave or wherever and check it out. That is Don Cheney's first cousin twice removed, married a man named Frank Paradice. And wow, I found that looking for something different. It just dropped in my lap. So, when you have the right suspect, you're going to find out more shocking things like this. Just the odds of that. Paradise is a surname. And I thought, where does this come from? I remember reading on Reddit where a guy suggested that. He said that he thought Paradise was probably a surname. And I thought, man, that's a novel concept. I mean, who would have thought of that? Of course, they thought maybe the Zodiac's name was Paradise, so they were looking all around for people with that last name. But where do you ever get that concept? That is such an unusual spelling. And of course, Paradise comes up in the Halloween card. Came up in both the Solved Zodiac ciphers. The 408 cipher solved by Don Harden, and then the recently solved 340 cipher from the three gentlemen, including Dave Ranchek. And of course, with the newest one solved, said life will be an easy one in paradise, death. And there's this shot from Reddit where I saw that. And it reads, Paradise surname question mark. Hey all, after Zodiac's lame reveal with the 340, I started thinking, what if he spelt Paradise incorrectly because that is the neckbeard's last name? Just a thought. And there's, of course, a shot of Don's relative by marriage, Francis Henry Frank Paradice Jr. What are the odds? That's all I have for now until the next great find, and thanks for listening. Please subscribe.